This is Jungling Your Numbers, 2020 Vision for Your Future. Kristen asked me to do something with numbers. She said she was really inspired in March when I did the number section in the at the retreat we were at then, and she said it totally. She got a vision for her future. She knew what to do, and she went and did it. Which, of course, becoming an executive director that quickly is amazing. And let's give Kristen a big hand. Okay. So what does binoculars do? Focuses in, doesn't it? Makes things in the distance become clear and alive, doesn't it? I told my son I wanted a telescope. I'm now in the water, and there's just so many things going on, and he bought me this huge monster nighttime telescope. Well, I wasn't even thinking nighttime, but it is amazing, and it's brought a whole new world of the stars into my life, and I'm so excited to learn about it. But it brings things from the distance up close. It also is very direct and pointed, isn't it? You can't see the broad vision, you just see a focused area. And it enlarges a small area, brings things into clarity, enables you to see and experience things you didn't know were there. How much inside of you do you not even know is there? That's waiting to come out, that's waiting to emerge to be the new you, okay? You must focus on them to accommodate your personal vision. So you're going to have to hone in on certain things that you're learning this weekend, because every one of our businesses are different and in a different place, and we do things differently. You heard that last night. You heard it today. To be your own brand, all that stuff. But we need to focus in on the things that we're weak at. Accentuate and build on the strong, teach the strong, but make our weaknesses stronger. It's about what you want, what you see, and what you're willing to do. Now, what are 3 whole positive numbers that have the same answer when multiplied together as well as when added together?
3 whole numbers?
3 whole numbers that have the same answer when you multiply them and when you add them.
2.
3 numbers. 2 is one of them.
1.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, and 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6.
We are thinking the one number. We're thinking the one number.
Guys, it's 3 whole numbers.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Did you know what it meant?
I knew what you meant.
Okay. Don't you love riddles? Anyway, what I loved about this is whether you're adding people and multiplying your shows and the totals of your shows, you're getting the same answer. Whether you're adding shows and multiplying your people, you're getting the same answer. Get it? Okay. All right. So I've showed many of you this slide before, and I think it's going to be in every single presentation I ever do in my future. It's the wall of no control and the wall of control. So tell me what we do not have control of.
Where you're going.
Say it again.
Other people's activity.
Other people's activity.
There's one way to go.
Life.
Weather.
Weather.
Oh, I thought they were talking about the slide.
Right? I mean, there's taxes we don't have control over, do we? We don't have control of traffic. All right? As early as we start out, sometimes we think we got it made and we're good. There's times I walk out of my condo now. I used to live in a house. Now I live in a condo, and there's lots of elderly people there, and I have to give myself an extra 10 minutes wherever I go before I leave, because I am bound to run into someone who wants to chat. look at it and they're like, I have an appointment, then I'm just being rude. So now I've built in 10 extra minutes. Okay, if I need to be driving by noon, I need to be walking out by 1:45. Because you know what, the last thing I want to do is be rude to any person at all. And if they want to take the time to chat with me, it's about building relationships, isn't it? And I'm the new kid, well, one of the new kids in the building, and I'm literally a kid in the building. But anyway, it's, you know what, it has become a blessing to me. And sometimes I just go outside so I can see somebody, because I'm holed up in my place all day long. And sometimes I just go take a walk around the building to see who's out. All right, so hopefully they've added 10 minutes onto their time. Okay, all right. So, oops, my thing went off here. Of course. So, what is in your control?
Your attitude.
Your attitude,
Your time.
Your activity.
your time, your activity, how you're spending your time with your activities, right? Those are the things that you need to focus on, what you can control. A lot of us have things happen in our lives that we can't control. Some of the things are small things, some of the things are big things. There are things that happen to us in life that we just don't understand, but we have to walk through them. And this business has been a rock in my life because it's the one thing I could control even when chaos is going on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I tell people all the time, you can't control this situation, so dive into your business. You can control what you do there, okay? All right, choices. Another slide that'll be in every single one. I love this slide because the doors are all the same size. They're all exactly the same distance apart, but one is golden. Which door are you going to choose today to go through? Which activities are you going to do today that are golden, that will increase your numbers, increase your business, and increase your life? Because many doors are great. Okay, James Dobson once says, many things are good. Many choices are good, but only one thing is excellent. Do the one thing. Really, do you know what's going to make your business grow? That's what you have to find out, okay? When you're cultivating your business, look at this, a cool slide. We want to talk about income growth. We want to cultivate your business for income growth, okay? All right, this keeps turning on me. Here we go. What I love about this is you see a little pile with a little plant and then a little bit bigger pile of money with a bigger plant. And as your tree gets bigger, you have more leaves, you have more things to do, you have more responsibilities. And things are different with the big pile of money than it is with the small pile, isn't it? But there isn't any reason in this world, except for you, that you can't grow up this slide. The only thing that's stopping you from having the big pile of money with the big tree is you. Because we all start with the same kit, we all have the same business plan to work. It's how we work it. You guys, there's nobody that's got to die or retire, good news for me, before you go up the ladder and become a senior director, an executive director, a senior executive, and a national. The table is long. It's there for anyone and everyone who wants it. What are you going to do to get there? And what's been so cool this year and last year is you've seen so many people fly up this ladder. It's not taken 12 years anymore, you guys. You've seen Stephen do it in what? 3 years. From start to finish. All right? That's crazy. I just saw Tim say that's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy, but it's doable. You've seen people go to executive director in 2 years. Where's Kristen? How long did you do it in?
2 years, 8 months.
2 years and 8 months, from consultant to executive. All right, I'm going to show you a slide later that's going to show you how I was a really big loser, okay? It took me 34 months to become an advanced director from the time I started my business. 34 months. But then once that momentum started rolling, woo, okay? So whatever your path is, you're in the perfect place for excellence. Right now, today forward is a new day. It's a new day. And there are no bad days. Okay. So we no longer have this tool, but I captured slides. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad I did that, because this was one of the very best tools we ever had in our company to show us what our future, what each of your personal futures could bring. And we're fighting diligently to get it back, okay? But I want to explain this to you. Okay, in this person, she had a monthly income of $1,164.93, annual income of $13,979. She did sales of $3,868. Her average monthly shows was 6.3. Orders per show were 6, and her average guest order was $101.80. She has career sales of just under $250,000. She had an end count on her personal team of 14. Average monthly shows, half of her people did one show each month. That's what 0.5 means, okay? They had 6.7 orders in each party with an average guest order of about $87. Or excuse me, $78. I flipped that. All right, so this was this person's profile, okay? Now, when we make a few changes, did you see the what if? All right. Oops. Where did it go? All right. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So that's in the wrong order. Okay. All right. So this person had commissionable sales. This is why I needed you to bring your year-to-date and your personal profile, because she did 13 live cooking shows and 9 live cooking shows and 50 shows that were virtual or catalog. Okay, she has about the same party average. That's pretty unusual, the same party average. Okay, usually virtual is about half of what your live shows are. All right, but in this instance, it wasn't. Okay. So when we take and change her average monthly shows, go from 6.3 to 8, so we're adding 1.5 shows on, or 3 virtual, okay? I'm gonna, for this example, I'm gonna use 1 live cooking show is equal to 2 virtual, all right? So for this, we're gonna add 3 virtual onto there. Where I saw in this person's profile is the number of orders. Now the average number of orders for the Pampered Chef is 7, so she's average. But what I'm saying is that's an area that we can 1, 2, 3 multiply, all right? We can absolutely affect the number of orders per show. And this is something that you need to teach your people. When you're looking at their numbers, you can show them, even if they can't add another show, how they can affect their paycheck through the number of orders and the average guest order total. So if we went from 6 to 12 orders and we only added 2 season's bests on to each order, or a $4 item, not even 4, it's 3. What is going to happen? I haven't touched the bottom yet. What is going to happen is we are going to add $1,715 to her pay. So now it's going to go, she's going to go from earning an annual income of $13,000, well say $14,000 to $20,590, just from adding 3 more virtual shows per month and working on host coaching. In this particular instance, it's host coaching. that this gal needs to work on. Because if you can get 12 orders, you're gonna double the number on your sales, and you're gonna make 20,000 compared to 13,000. Everybody see that? Small changes make big, big difference. All right, now,
Power of one.
pardon me?
Power of one.
The power of one, absolutely.
One more order, one more higher sale, one more.
Yes, one more. Do you have any friends that need any Pampered Chef stuff? If they add an order, I'll give you 10% off yours. You're still making more money when you do that kind of stuff, you guys. Absolutely 100%. And most importantly, you're being exposed to new people that you would have never met before. Okay? And you can, because they're an outside order, you say, I will absolutely follow up with you to tell you the tips and ideas and recipes that you can use your product. I want to make sure it's out of the box and in use because you didn't see it live and in action or on a video in a virtual. Okay, now look what happens. This person said to me, I want to recruit 2 people for the next 3 months. All right, so now her end count's going to go from 14 to 20. We are going to get 1 more person out of every 4 to do a show every month. So instead of 2 people out of, or 1 out of every 2 people doing a show, or 2 out of every 4, we're going to get 3 out of every 4 to do a show. Okay, it's going to increase that really by 50%. All right. And the orders per show, we're going to work on this with our people too, because you know what, when we go from 6.5 orders to 10, it's only 2.5 more orders. But challenge your host, give them something extra, whatever it takes, you guys, to get those more orders, because you're meeting more people, the opportunity to book and to recruit goes from 6 to 8, or I'm sorry, 6 to 10, 6 people to 10 people. So now you've just increased your opportunity by 40%. Okay, by 40%. All right, so, and then we did the average guest order to $80 from 78. I know numbers are boring, but if you guys can catch this stuff and realize what just small increases and small changes can do for your business, it is amazing. Now, instead of 20,000, she's going to go to $23,600 in sales. I mean, in income. Isn't that interesting? I mean, small changes. We're not telling her to go from doing 6 shows to 16.
Right.
All right? We're not saying you got to recruit 10 people this month. We're saying recruit 2 people for the next 3 months in a row. All very doable things. Very, very doable. Any person in this business can affect their business this way. Even if they're starting out with 2 shows a month, you can go to 4. And I've got that 2x2 bookings, and what that does for your business on PC Team Training. By the way, let's give Patty and Marie a huge hand for PC Team Training. You're doing a great job with that. Thank you very much for all you do. Really, really appreciate it. There is such a wealth of information on there and how-tos, and I don't think we use it 2% of the way we should. All right. Okay, so and now, by the way, did you see her monthly sales went from, her personal sales went from $3,800 to $10,000 in a month. Okay, did you guys catch that? So now, not only is she earning every single thing that Pampered Chef is offering, she has a chance to be an elite on the elite trip, doesn't she? If she's recruiting and then promoting directors, and I didn't even go into those screens, but once that starts rolling, you saw the numbers that Kristen did. You saw Mary Haynes blew it out of the water. She did it in just over 2 years too.
2 years, 4 months.
2 years, 4 months. We have had people do things that has never been done before right now. So when I'm talking to you, and I did things way back in the day, you may not think I'm, what's the word? Relatable right now. But I want you to know so many of the same principles apply, just apply a little differently. Working your business is the main one. Consistency. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Let me go back to these. All right. Now, on this page, how much you would like to earn is in the middle, it's in the top of the page that has the blue. Okay? Because once again, you know the types of business you do. There's different things. I really like to break up the different ways we do shows by the actual titles of it. Because you get different percentage points and you get different commissions, and your party average is different for different things. So workshops, call them classes, workshops, whatever. How many workshops would you like to do each month? Is it once a week, twice a month? Never? That's fine too. You, again, it's your business, and you're the CEO of your business. Are you the best employee of the business or the worst employee? Okay. So how many parties do you want? How many virtual and catalog shows? And how many fundraisers? And this is something you can do later, but I absolutely want you to do it and take a snapshot of it and put it on our Facebook page, because we need to know you're filling these things out. We need to know that you're going to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, this is all just wasted time for not only Kristen and the other people that worked hard to prepare this. It's a waste of your time, okay? So if you don't do things, it's like, why bother? But anyway, what I love about this, I like to break everything down. I used to be in the accounting world, and I ran, for those of you that don't know my story, I ran a 25-person office at the age of 21. Yes, I've always been a little bit of an overachiever, okay? Stayed home with my children, and one year we needed Christmas money. And here's another thing I want you to remember. Don't worry if people have small goals and are only gonna do this for a very short time. I was one of those people that was gonna just do this for the fall season. And I found I loved it. You have other people that will sign up and say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be your next executive director, and they don't do 2 shows, right? Okay, that happens, no one knows until they get into it. No one, all right? Now people may have ideas of how they're gonna do it, especially if they've done another business like ours, but they really don't know until they get into it. And I think ours is one of the easiest because everybody has a kitchen. Whether they love to cook or hate to cook, they have to cook. And remember, to cook is to heat food. That's the definition of cooking, is to heat foods. Whether it's in the microwave or heating the leftovers or the takeout, you're cooking, okay? I always tell people that. All right, so what you're gonna do from your perspective, you're gonna put in, okay, I wanna do 1 workshop a month, I wanna do 4 parties a month, I wanna do 8 virtual shows, okay? Because 4 parties and 8 virtual, if 2 virtual shows equal 1, there's your 8 makes you great, okay? And you know, that still stands. The people that are doing straight virtual are doing 16 to 20 shows, and we all know that some of those shows won't amount to anything. So they're doing the 8 shows, okay? The 8, what amounts to 8 live cooking shows. 2 virtual is equal to 1 live. And then fundraisers. And this is an area that I think we really, really miss out on. Fundraisers is a way to meet new people and get new leads that the only thing that they have in common is that band, that choir, the brownie troupe, whatever it may be. Every one of those people have different set of family and friends. You know, when you go into a party, you're booking from the same group. You're booking from the same group, you're booking from the same group. Not so much on virtual because they're all over the country, but when you do a live show. So I love doing fundraisers on a regular basis because I may get 65 people that all have different family, live in different neighborhoods, and have different friends. And because I personally like to give back with fundraisers, I give them my pay so they know I didn't make anything from their event, and they're they really like that. You guys, they really, really like that. I liken that to standing at a craft show or craft fair all day long and getting leads. I liken a fundraiser to that. Only a fundraiser adds dollars to my trip. It adds dollars to every other dollar I sell that month because I'm earning at a higher income rate. or, you know, the,
Commission.
commission fee, thank you. So do you see how that works? I could stand at a craft fair and hope to get some leads, or I can get some leads through a fundraiser. Both days are, I'm giving my time or my money. I like the odds of the fundraiser. I like the odds of the fundraiser, okay? So, especially this month, everybody should be doing a Hope Lodge fundraiser. And I'm really excited, I know this is a squirrel side moment, but I'm really excited about the Hope Lodge thing because there are so many people doing the breast cancer and the other things. This covers a blanket of everyone, every different kind of cancer, and there isn't necessarily money for Hope Lodge for those people. So I really think that the more we fund and help Hope Lodge, it helps those families that are going through at a higher rate and a bigger comfort rate. They're going to think about Pampered Chef differently because they're going to see the Pampered Chef products in the home. They're going to experience some Pampered Chef recipes, and in the other way, it was just going into the big pot, okay? So I'm very excited that they're doing this.
You know, Nancy Jo,
Yes.
have any of you been to Hope Lodge before? No. So I'm in Chicago, but I was in Kansas City and went when my husband and I were traveling. And it's amazing. It's like a Ronald McDonald House where you can go and volunteer and cook for the people there. And it was really, really a cool place to go.
Yeah. And if you get team members, get your team members to
I just
go.
Googled Hope Lodge, Florida, and there's one in Gainesville, Tampa, Jacksonville. So if you're around there.
Awesome. You got to go to
I
the
wish
Tampa one.
I wish there was one in Chicago.
Yeah, well, maybe we can work on it.
Yeah. Don't even building, Nancy.
Okay,
It's,
so
it's a cool place.
yes, it really is, and we have an opportunity to make a difference in lives, to give back. All right, so do you understand how to fill this little piece out? All right, and the commission earned is, you know, if you want to make $5,000 a month, how are you going to do it? What portion is coming from your team and what portion is coming from you? And if you're a team leader, basically it's all coming from you. And I'm going to show you the difference in that slide in a little bit. Okay, I also have this, and I'll put this on the page. It's the number of shows per month with your party, with different party averages, the approximate number of orders, total sales, commission rate, and commission earned for the month. So it's going to be really easy for you to fill out that sheet, all right? And maybe we can even just put it up there right away so they can work on it. But if you're doing 4 shows, 6 shows, 8 shows. And again, I started it at 401 to 7 because, you know, for an average 400 virtual show to an average party at 750 or 850, okay? So you can see how when you multiply the numbers, your paycheck grows. And it grows exponentially because the higher commission rate is at the higher levels, all right? Now, so now we're going to talk about this blue page. I really like to break things down by quarters. We all know that we do different things differently in different quarters, don't we? All right? We all put the big push on in the fall. But I want you to know, in the first 4 years of my business, my paycheck was regular every single month. Regular, the same or higher than it was the month before. That was the goal, all right? I didn't want to have a seasonal business in any aspect of the word, all right? Didn't matter to me that it was summer because my bills still came in the summer, didn't they? So what ended up happening is I was being consistent with my efforts and my actions, and my business was never not consistent from day one, okay? Now, it just so happens that in the fall you can change anything. So if you're low on shows or low on recruits or low on both things, you can change it right now because this is our highest season, our biggest season. This is the time where you can change anything because lots of people are wanting our services, okay? So again, put the number of workshops. Now this is where you can just put your monthly goal of dollars in the workshops, parties, virtual, fundraisers, and recruits. And then what you do, you actually fill out the rest of the bottom. for all 3 months of that quarter. So use this page as a master. Again, we'll send it to you, and then you can spit it out. And you can do it. You guys are brilliant. You can probably make these things all live, all the boxes, and you can do it digitally, whatever. But you know, there's something about looking and writing and experiencing this on paper. All right, so this I've been doing for years and years and years, and it keeps me on track. And at different times in my businesses, I grow different areas of my business, excuse me. Okay, so the next one is, and again, you're gonna find your averages in your performance detail, okay? We did that, and now your 90-day growth plan. By the way, what time do I have till, Kristen? I know we started a little late, so.
You have about 20 minutes.
Okay, all right, so 90-day growth plan. We talked about our why. That is so important because your why will drive you on days where you don't feel like doing crap. Okay, let's just say it like it is. You have to remember what your why is, and sometimes it's really, really important to have that why printed out in a couple places in your house to make you go back to what you know you need to do. All right. So you connect your goals to your why. All right. If your why is, we're going to use Angie. She's building a new house, and I know from personal experience what it costs to put plantation shutters in, and I wanted the rolling shutters on the side of my floor-to-ceiling windows that had the, you know, that I could just press the button, you know, like the other people live. Okay. So I researched how much that kind of stuff costs. So it's like my next paycheck. See, I make a game out of it. My next paycheck, I want it to be over. I want it to be $3,400 over my last year's paycheck. So my budget is not affected, and I get that thing over 1 month, or maybe over 2 months if it's a bigger, you know, item, whatever. But it's really fun to do that for yourself and say, okay, how much more do I need to work this month to pay for the blinds, to pay for the new rugs, to pay for the 10-foot buffet that I just had built, custom built. All right, how much more is it gonna, how many months am I gonna have to work on that? What am I gonna, till I can get it? Make it a game, make it a game. Know what your budget is for your family, what you need, and then what you want is the extras, okay? So I really encourage you to do that because you'll work harder for yourself than you will for anyone else. And if you work for a purpose, work for a reason, work to build that retirement fund, work to build the college fund. Okay, I need $1,000 extra to put in that college fund every single month. That's not going to affect our budget. Well, you're in a business that you can do that. It's beautiful. I mean, you don't have to go to your boss and say, you know what, I'm going to need a $1,000 raise this month, and it's going to need to continue for the next 4 years because I got someone going to college in 4 years. All right? It's not the way it works. You may get a raise because you deserve it, but it's a shake because they may say yes and they may say, actually, we're thinking of letting you go. This is your business, you guys. You can make it anything you want it to be from today forward. Okay, so you're going to define your daily activity. How I will complete the following activities to get to my goal, to get to my why. To fulfill my goal, to get to my why. Does this make sense? Scheduling your time. I will work how many hours a day? And I know many of you work full-time jobs. So you're going to have to look and see, am I going to get up an hour earlier, or am I going to stay up an hour later? How many 15-minute blocks can I find in a day? Because unless you work, it's not going to happen. You can think about it all day long. But unless you put action to it, it's not going to happen. Trust me, I've experienced both ends of those statements. And when you think about it all day long, then it becomes a burden. It comes, your shoulders start to drop, or in my case, they go up. You know, my massage therapist always says, ooh, you're stressed out because your shoulders are in your ears. But seriously, you know, it becomes a burden. You want it to be exciting, like Kristen was talking about. You want it to propel you into the activities that you love, all right? So you're gonna identify potential obstacles. What are things that could stop you? You need to know what they are so they're not surprises, so when they pop up, you can choose what you're gonna do with those obstacles. Walk through them, go around them, or say, I don't have time for you right now. And hopefully that's not your husband, okay. Okay, I plan to overcome these obstacles by, fill it out. Again, use this as a template. And again, we can send it to you so you can have it in your repertoire. Teach your people, anybody who wants more in their business should be doing this. Hold yourself accountable. And try to get a buddy that you're gonna hold yourself accountable to. I made the sad mistake of saying to Mary Haynes last night that I was sending future clothes to the future Nancy Joe. And Mary says, so what are you doing about that, Nance? Smart aleck. And I go, nothing yet. And she goes, well, I'm gonna call you in a couple weeks. And I expect you to call me, Mary. And I better have done something. But seriously, get a buddy. Get a buddy. Because you know what? I can talk about it for years. I even have my next set of wardrobe. It's really sad. All these, my sisters really gave it to me bad because these clothes all had tags in them. I haven't even ever worn them. And they're going, what the heck? And I go, it's for the future Nancy Joe. It's going to be great. All right. Here's a little box that you can calculate your team statistics for increased productivity, okay? Now this is kind of cool because when you put in your organizational sales divided by your end count, divided by 9, because that's why I wanted you to bring this year's statistics with you, your average monthly sales will come out, okay? Per consultant, your average monthly sales per consultant for your team. And if you want to add 10% more activity, okay? Again, do it in, like Weight Watchers, it tells you go for the next 5 pounds, go for the next 5 pounds. You may have a big goals, I want to increase my business by 100%, but do it in 10% increments, because you'll bite that off, you'll get it, you'll celebrate and go for the next. Bite it off, celebrate, go for the next. Bite it off, celebrate, go for the next, okay? So your current team is the number of active divided by your end count is a percent of active consultants, okay? It's a really important number for you to know because to add 10% more, take your end count and divide it by 10, all right? And then, or to multiply it times 10, and then divide it by your original active number will give you your new active number, okay? And so what that, I believe I have okay, so here, I'm going to use this person's numbers. End count of 23, she has a total active of 8. The number of active divided by end count is the number, or the percent of active consultants. 8 divided by 23 is 35% active. Okay, everybody got that? Oh. Oh, okay. I'm almost done with this part.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. All right. If we increase her number of actives by 10%, she's going to need 2.3 more people to become active. All right. With just 2 more active consultants, she would increase her team productivity by 25%. Because 2 is 25% of 8. Do you see what I'm doing here? So really, a 10% increase of people is going to give her a 25% increase in her paycheck. All right? Okay. So this is all, it's all going to be here, written down for you. All right? Let me go back right here. All right. So, okay. And I broke this down too. Original sales divided by end count, divided by months. You just plug in the numbers, guys. They're right there. And I can go over any with anybody during lunch. Average monthly sales, she did 78,000 divided by 28. Her team did 78,000 divided by 23 people. divided by 9 months is $380 for active. I was at a Rachel Hollis seminar, and she was challenging us about goals 10 years from now. Well, for me, 10 years from now, I'm hoping to be retired, so I did it 5 years from now, okay? So, hoping to have friends with yachts by then. 10 years. You know, some people said friends with boats, and then we said friends with big boats. I said that would be friends with yachts, okay? So anyway, but in 5 years, all right, my dream has always been to earn $1 million in a year, okay? So I said, what do I have to do today to break down my numbers to make that happen in 5 years, all right? My highest year was $789,000 of income. This last year, it was like $565,000. Still amazing, right?
Yes.
I mean, who does that, right? So, amazing number, all right? So, I have 6,700 people that did $27 million in sales last year. When I did the math on all that, to make $1 million, I'm not gonna go through all the calculations, but to make $1 million, I can do it one of two ways. I can either get my people average, see how I have the average of 380? My people, my 6,700 people average $333 each per month, okay? If I can get that to go to 750, I make $1 million. It's not that much. If I can get people, each person, on average, some people will do 3 times, some people will do nothing. But if I can get that average to 750, there's my $1 million. Or I can get my 6,700 people to go to 12,500, and I'll have my $1 million at the same average. Whether you add or multiply, it comes out the same. I say do both and see how fast you get there, right? Right? So that was really exciting for me to just sit there and figure it out. I had it figured out, what, in 10 minutes? I mean, these guys are going, what are you doing? I'm writing. And then, oh, okay, I know what I gotta do. And the way I need to do it is to learn virtual and be a virtual queen of virtual jungle, so I can teach my people, and they all start doing that, because you know what, my people are not doing it like the way yours are, because that's what you taught them from the beginning. We know live cooking shows from the beginning, but if I can get my people to do a few virtual shows each month from the lovely living rooms on their couches, what's going to happen? But you know what the best part is? It's not going to just be me that's going to be earning that. It's going to be all of you, because all of you make up my team. So we're going to grow together, is what it comes down to. Woo! Yes. All right. This lovely income chart, I share this at every single seminar, so I apologize for those of you that have seen it before, but it's become more relevant right now, because our party average, when I started, my first year was $275. My second year it was $300. My third year it was $350, and my fourth year it was $400. So guess what those numbers are today? Those are virtual party averages, aren't they? Okay, and I did 2 shows a week consistently during this time. And then I recruited, my first year, I recruited, well, up to May, from January through May, I recruited 7 people. My June 1st to the following May, that would be into the green numbers, I recruited 11 was the first, 7, then 11, then the next year I recruited 20, then the next year I recruited 38. Nothing too hard about those numbers, are they? I added basically, what, 70 people to my team over 4 years? That's nothing in today's world, is it? It's nothing. You saw Kristen's numbers. You saw how many people they recruited. All right, well, that was my personal recruits. That's not including team recruiting. But what's really cool, so I was doing 2 shows a week that were equivalent to virtual totals, and I earned $14,700 with 7 people on my team the first half of the year, and about 20 the second half of the year. Year 2, I doubled it, 26.5. Okay,
It's beeps when there's a door not shut for some reason.
okay, so 26.5.
No, here.
If we
Keep
open,
going.
yeah, it's not a problem.
yeah.
So the next year I did 26.5 with about 25 people on my team. The next year, 49.7 with about 35 to 40 people on my team. And then the following year, I earned 97.5. Okay, and by the way, when I'm saying my team, it was my personal team. Now, I don't know about you, but $100,000 a year in 1990 was amazing. But wouldn't $100,000 a year today be amazing? How many of you would like to earn $100,000 a year? All right. So are you willing to do 2 to 4 virtual shows a month and help 70 people? Pardon me?
A week.
Well, I'm just saying, yes, a week, I'm sorry, a week, yes, a week. Because I did 8 shows a month, all right, no matter what, I got my 8 shows in. In the fall, sometimes I had an extra 2 in there, all right? And I always included my meeting, because I promised my husband that I would, nice way to say. Anyway, I promised my husband that I would be on not more than 2 nights a week. That was my deal, all right? So, but let's think about it. There's only 1 month of the year that has 28 days. There's 31 days. So really you could do 1 extra night in every single month for a meeting. So I still did my 8 shows. Now, I challenge you to do your business whatever way you want, virtually or live or a combination of both. And I gotta tell you, my strongest people are a combination of both. They are a combination of both. And whether you do it on, live squeak parties, whether you do Visibly, I don't know anything about that, but I know that's another platform out there. Whether you do classes, whether you do cooking, cooking clubs, whatever you do, you need to be consistent because you're gonna see enough people. That's the key. You're gonna get enough sales, you're gonna see enough people to get enough sales and get enough recruit leads. Bottom line, I know this is really, really basic, but I'm telling you, if you get that down, everything falls into place. So at 97.5 by my 4th year, and you guys, every one of you can do this because of today's numbers the way they are. Every one of you. And that's why I show this to you. I don't show you last year's number. I show you the things that you can do if you purpose to do it. And what is really interesting is the first 6 months of my business, 100% of my income came from me. Then month 7 till 12, there was Chris Mannion, Marie Friday. Chris Mannion was my first director, Marie Friday was my second. Okay, back then you had to have 2 directors to become an advanced director. Okay, month 13 through 18, 43% of my income now is coming from the activity of my team. 57% was coming from my personal activity. Look at how it's flipping. In 1 year's time, month 7 through 12 compared to month 19 through 24, it's flipped, hasn't it? 66-34. And then month 25 to 33, 76-24. And remember what I said? I wasn't an advanced director until month 34. In month 34, 13% of my income came from me, 87% came from my team activities, okay? And we earn every penny of what we earn on our override. Every CEO makes more than the general managers, who makes more than the vice presidents, who makes more than the department heads, but So when you walk up that ladder and you're earning extra income from what you built and what you've grown, you never apologize for it. It is the beauty of capitalism, okay? It is absolutely the beauty of capitalism. But what is really interesting about this chart is I was still doing the same amount of sales that whole time. So why grow a team? Why help others help others? And today, why not earn $3,000 right along with your new recruit? I mean, that's crazy. I told Brian, our CFO, I said, man, I would have loved to have been in on that meeting. I would have loved to have been in on that meeting where you let $3,000 per person go. Because, you know, he's a squeaker. Okay, so now you set your new goals and you crush them. This is on that bottom half of that 90-day growth plan. And where do you want to be 30 days from now, 60 days, and 90 days? It is all up to you guys. It is all up to wherever you want to go, what the amount of work you're going to put in. If you have a crush month or a crush quarter, it will pay off. I've seen Myrna Ross do that. I've seen Paula Brockner do that. I've seen countless people say, okay, this month I'm putting in extra time. I'm putting in extra shows. I am going to crush my business because it's going to pay me back in the future. All right? I want to encourage you that each one of you can do it. You can juggle your numbers and get a vision for 2020. We are 87 days from January 1. 87 days. What are you going to do with them? What's your business going to look like on January 1? In our highest selling season, you've heard the saying, if it's to be, it's up to me. It couldn't be truer in this sense. We can teach you everything in the world, but only you can do it and put it into action. Thanks, Kristen.
Isn't that a beautiful picture?
Yes.
So my husband took that when we were in Hawaii.